The couch is not where you feel best. The couch is where you disappear. That sounds backwards, I know. You work all week thinking about the moment you get to do nothing. And then you get there, phone in hand, nothing to do. And somehow you feel worse, not better. Emptier, not lighter. Like you used something up instead of getting something back. Here's the part that actually messed with my head when I found out about it. Researchers used to interrupt people randomly throughout the day. Just buzz them and ask, "What are you doing right now? And how do you feel?" And the data kept saying the same weird thing, over and over. People felt best not during leisure. They felt best during work. Not easy work, hard work. The kind that asks something of you. That doesn't line up with how we talk about our lives at all. We treat rest like the reward and effort like the tax we pay to get there. But it turns out the thing we're actually chasing, that fully alive, time doesn't exist, I forgot to eat feeling, mostly shows up on the other side of difficulty, not on the couch. In the middle of something hard enough to actually need you. That feeling has a name, flow. A psychologist spent decades studying it after noticing something strange about painters. Not famous ones, just people who painted seriously. He'd watch them get so deep into a piece that they'd forget to eat, forget to sleep, forget they had a body with needs at all. And then, the second the painting was finished, most of them lost interest almost immediately. They weren't chasing the finished painting, they were chasing the state they were in while making it. That distinction sat with me for a while. Because I think most of us are pointed at the wrong target. We think we want the result. The promotion, the finished project, the followers, the number going up. But what we're actually starving for is the thing that happens in the middle, the total absorption. The version of you that isn't narrating itself, isn't checking how it's doing, isn't performing for anyone, just doing the thing. I used to write constantly as a teenager. Not because I was good at it, I wasn't, but because something happened when I did it that didn't happen anywhere else. Hours would just go missing. I'd sit down at 4 and next thing I knew it was dark outside and I hadn't noticed the sun leave. I didn't have a word for it then. I just knew I felt more like myself doing that than doing almost anything else. Then I got older, got a job, got a phone that never stopped asking for a piece of me, and that feeling quietly stopped showing up. I didn't notice it leaving. You never do. It's not like heartbreak, where there's a single moment you can point to. It's more like a plant that stops getting watered. One day you look over and it's just gone, and you can't remember exactly when. For a long time, I thought the problem was that I'd changed, that the version of me who could get lost in something for 6 hours straight just didn't exist anymore, that maybe it was a teenage thing, tied to having fewer responsibilities and more time. I made peace with that, told myself that's just what growing up costs you. But that's not actually what the research says, and it's not what I eventually found out for myself either. Flow isn't about how much free time you have, it's about a very specific match between what you're capable of and what you're attempting. Too easy, and your mind wanders off looking for something to chew on. Too hard, and you tip into anxiety instead. But right on that edge, just past what's comfortable, something switches on. Neurologically, the part of your brain responsible for self-monitoring, the part that judges you, that narrates your every move, actually quiets down. You stop watching yourself live and just start living. Which means that the reason it disappeared for me wasn't age. It was that I'd stopped doing anything that lived on that edge. Everything I filled my day with was either too easy, scrolling, half watching something, replying to messages, or vaguely stressful in a way that never resolved into actual challenge. Busy, but never stretched. Occupied, but never absorbed. If you're watching this and something in you just quietly went, "Oh, that's what's been missing. I want to know what it used to be for you." Not what you think it should be. What actually used to make hours disappear before life got complicated. Tell me in the comments, because I think most of us already know the answer. We've just stopped believing it counts as something worth protecting. I went looking for it again eventually, and it wasn't where I expected. I thought I'd have to go back to writing, recreate the exact conditions from when I was 17. But when I sat down to write again, it felt forced, performative, like I was trying to summon a ghost instead of doing a thing. It took me a while to realize flow was never actually about writing specifically. It was about that edge, and I found it somewhere I didn't expect. In something physical, something with no audience and no stakes, where I was just bad enough at it to have to pay real attention. And that's when it clicked for me. Flow was never a personality trait some people have and others don't. It's not reserved for artists or athletes or people who found their one true calling at 9 years old. It's a condition you create on purpose by putting yourself somewhere just past your current skill with a clear enough goal that you know instantly whether you're doing it right or wrong, which means it's not gone for you either. It's not a door that closed when you turned 30 or when your job got serious or when your phone became an extension of your hand. It's just waiting on the other side of something slightly too hard for you right now. Something you haven't let yourself be bad at in a while. Because being bad at something, even briefly, even just at the beginning, is the actual price of getting back there. You didn't lose the capacity. You just stopped putting yourself somewhere it could find you.